Derby Tees TV is powered by DEC Headers, the nation's premier source for demolition derby headers. When you want the best, buy the best. DEC has you covered. For great service, fast shipping, and even custom orders, visit their website at DECHeaders.com. Collier Performance Engines is a proud sponsor of Derby Tees TV. For proven power, performance, and unmatched reliability, Collier Performance is hard to beat. Are you ready to spend more time in the winner's circle? Visit Collier Performance on Facebook today. This Derby Tees TV broadcast is brought to you by Alexander Concession and Catering, Gray Area Demo Parts, Skinny Salvage Derby Cars and Parts, DerbyTees.com, the original Derby t-shirt, Crashbox monthly subscriptions, Cheaters Video, and Klein Design Incorporated. You're watching the Crashbox pre-race show. The Crashbox is a monthly subscription service that sends exclusive gear right to your door. Order 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. Welcome to the show. Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to the Crashbox pre-race show here at Bash for Cash 2019, day number 2. We get the compact consolation on the agenda for this afternoon. And Chris, we got all kinds of guys coming out here.
Oh, man, it's going to be 27 cars out there.
27 cars in the compact consolation.
Going to be pretty congested.
I'll tell you what, fans, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I'm your host, Steve Bucknam. Chris Marquardt here with us, doing the commentary for you throughout the weekend, trying to keep you informed. We got all kinds of angles, storylines, and controversy throughout the weekend.
Oh, boy.
Keep everybody entertained here. 27 cars in this compact consolation. I want to say welcome to everybody that's joining us on Facebook as well. We are live on DerbyNation.tv and live on Facebook thanks to Jeffy's Fab Farm, giving you a taste of the action that you're going to see here throughout the weekend here at the Bash for Cash. If you like what you're seeing here in our free preview of the compact consolation, make sure you're joining us on DerbyNation.tv for the rest of the evening. It's going to be amazing. We got the Relic class, the Frank the Tank, the Pro Stocks, kicker cars.
Kicker heats.
It's going to be amazing this weekend.
4-star card. This evening, everything for us is going to kick off around 4:45, so jump in around that time, DerbyNation.tv, and you can log in. You can catch all that action tonight, and then that sets the stage for tomorrow, and tomorrow's just jam-packed. We start at 11 o'clock, and we go till dawn.
The Day of Champions.
Yes, it is.
We get to crown the real kings here at the Bash for Cash, and I tell you, I can't say from personal experience. I can say from interviewing people on the track that there's no better feeling than winning the Bash for Cash. The drivers that we meet on the track for those on-track interviews are so emotional.
Gage Sumner enjoyed it so much he brought the same car back this year.
He sure did. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing Gage out there in the kicker class, seeing if he can repeat, do it again. The car looks real good. We caught up with him in the pit area a little bit. He had to do a little bit of cutting, as did everybody else.
We got to get into his car, too. The piece that he's actually brought here, and what was here last year, and what's on the car that wasn't here last year.
Yes, we'll talk about that in our next pre-race show, which will happen this afternoon, 4:45. Not going to get too far ahead of ourselves here. Compact consolation coming up. Anybody sticking out to you on that driver's list, Chris?
Nate Middendorf. First and foremost, Nate Middendorf. The fact that he didn't get qualified out of his heat last night, I think that's a big talking point, because as we saw, Team Compact Cadillacs and that Minnesota crew of Jared Fisher and Nate were trying to run together. 5 cars were going to qualify, and we do the math. Up to 5 of them were going to be able to make it in. Those two got about halfway there. Jared Fisher's in, Nate isn't, and he's got some work to do. He had some work to do today to get his car's sheet metal back where he wanted it, so that it was going to continue to roll the way that he had projected. He expressed a little bit of frustration too. He had a heat where there was a lot of hard cars, so that catastrophic, tons of damage in a single blow hit never came. Everybody was more surgical. It was more precise. Not that they weren't driving hard, not that they weren't hitting hard. It just didn't have that one epic, a good counterbalance to this.
Right.
Devin Germain. Devin Germain caught that one car against the wall. The back end was obliterated. They stopped it. He got a Mad Dog Award.
Right.
That Mad Dog Award never came because it was too much of a chess match.
Yeah, and
he drove most of the heat with no steering.
The flow of that heat was a lot different than the other heats as well. Everybody was sort of congealed in the center of the track. Not a lot of space between the hits. Even though the hits were pretty substantial, they were comparable with everybody else. Nothing really stood out.
Right. I mean, you get in those situations where it becomes just a strategic. I'll get it again. Try it again. Strategic. Take two. And they start wailing on each other. The hits might not look like a whole lot because the sheet metal isn't moving from where the tail light was to where the back seat was or anything like that. But when you look at the drivers, they jar, they shift, their heads are snapping around. So there's definitely some impact. There's damage. They're putting pressure on some of those wear parts that can get weak. So, he expressed some frustration there, and now he's trying to channel that into the consolation round. So he might go out there and take somebody out. Adriana Pensek is at the bottom of the list. Her bumper didn't do what we thought it did.
Okay.
The hit happened, and it didn't so much drop down as the top welds broke, and it fell. So it wasn't pulling the rails down. The whole front end wasn't collapsing as much as the bumper just sort of ripped off and rolled forward. They've now fixed that, and Hank Pensek, her dad, has sort of reconfigured what that front end looks like.
Yeah, I saw it actually. It's got like some 2x2 tubing on it, so it looks kind of small, really, compared to what she had on there.
Right. They've reconfigured that because the space behind it is strong enough to take a little bit less bumper and still be just as effective without sacrificing the integrity of. I mean, a couple hits in with the way that thing was going to go, it looked like if the welds did hold, the bumper would be up on the stacks in no time.
Right.
So they tried to lighten things up there. Yeah. And her goal is to wrap things up in the Consi, take a couple people with her, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be a good one for her.
Yeah, I'm going to run that by you again. There's no plans in that description to go to the feature.
I heard that. I heard that. That's her. That's the way she drives. I mean, we look forward to seeing that every time. Talking about drivers that drive like that, we saw Patrick Dellis. Patrick and...
You set up a video?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, real quick aside. Just so our Wreckage Award winner last night?
Junked Award.
He put it back together.
He did.
He's supposed to be out there. He's registered to be there.
Bruce.
Zach Bruce is supposed to be out there with what's left of an AMC.
All right.
I can't wait to see it. But getting back to him having to put that together, the Dellis boys had a ton of stuff to rebuild.
Yeah, Patrick Dellis doing a ton of work on his car. He had a lot of help from the Canadian posse there, the Mad Dog Motorsports people.
Because they had nothing to fix.
Yeah, nothing, right? But we caught up with Patrick Dellis. We also talked to Colton Poole. Colton Poole in the number 21 had a lot of car left. Had to do some front suspension work. So we'll talk to those two guys. We'll hear what they had to say here today, talking about their Consi run, and we'll come back with more after this. This is the Pit Pass. I'm here with Patrick Dellis, number 18R, coming out of New York. Getting ready for the Consolation. We're doing a lot of work on the car here. Got some Canadian guys jumping in, helping you out. What's going on?
I blew the frame rails apart last night. CV shaft come out, shattered that on myself. Back's packing in real good. I think I'm alright. I got CV shaft in it. I think we're almost ready, good to go.
You were driving pretty hard looking for that Mad Dog. You're going to see that again in the Consolation?
So bad. I'm going to try. I don't know if they hand one out for the Consolation, but I think if I make it to the feature, I'm going to send it again. We're going to show them what New York's about.
Who else are you here with?
I got my little brother, Derek Dellis. Here we are, going to 37B. He's currently trying to straighten his rails to get his fixer plates on. We got into each other last night in the heat. I think we're going to be set, ready to go. Get over the inspection, get them passed. Try again.
See what happens.
Yep.
Who's watching at home you going to say hi to?
My mom, Patricia Dallas, all my friends, Keith and Bree Poor. Everybody back home, whoever's watching, hi.
We appreciate it, man. Good luck, and we hope you have a good time on the Consi.
Thanks.
Thank you. This is the Pit Pass. I'm here with Colton Poole, number 21, running in the compact division. Coming back through the Consi here. How's things going working on the car?
Good so far. I mean, last night we had a little spark issue, not keeping it running, so hopefully we got that issue fixed and we can make it through the Consi.
How's the car itself look? I mean, did it take much damage?
No, in the rear end a little bit, but I think we got that all worked out. So front end's pretty solid still. So
tell us about your build a little bit. What do you got here?
I got a 93 Lumina. Got about a month in it, so about it. There you go.
Who's helping you work on the car?
My brother and Nate Truckenbrode. Actually, I want to thank my brother a lot because he helped me a ton building this car. So.
Family always comes together.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anybody watching at home this weekend?
Yeah, my mom and my dad.
Make sure you get them in there.
Oh yeah, I want to thank them.
So we wish you best of luck coming through the Consi. Hopefully they'll take 4 or 5 out of there like they did for the heats.
Yeah, hopefully.
And we'll see you in the feature, right?
Yep, hopefully.
All right, we'll see you there.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
This has been the CrashBox Pre-Race Show. Visit DerbyCrashBox.com and order yours today. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the green flag. It's day number 2 at the Bash for Cash, and there is carnage on the horizon. You'll see the Turn Back the Clock class, the Kicker class, Frank the Tank, and the brand new Pro Stock and Relic classes run today. Will the Braun family dynasty continue in the Turn Back the Clock class, or will they be unseated? Can Gage Sumner repeat in the Kicker class? Does Mike Klinger have what it takes to take the Relic class win? Stay tuned on DerbyNation.tv to find out. This is an all-out day of destruction. This is the stage where champions are forged. This is the Bash for Cash, day number 2. Welcome back, fans. So glad to have you here with us. We are live at day number 2, Bash for Cash. It is going down here. Compact Consolation slated to begin here in just a few moments. Drivers are frantically getting stuff ready.
No, they're all done being frantic. If they haven't got it ready now, they're not doing anything. I saw that clip of Kevin Oldman there with the brick wall on his nose.
Yeah.
Travis Charleston's here.
Yes.
And he does the same thing on his cars up in Canton, up in New York. And he had some build tips for Kevin Ullman.
Oh.
The W body was basically clean up the lines on the edges of the brick stuff.
get the mortar a little bit more detailed. Yeah, that'll come in. You know, it's nice to see such a strong contingent of New York drivers here.
It is.
The New York guys have a reputation for driving very aggressively, putting a good show on, and they bring that flavor into this show and sort of add some spice to it, change the pace up of things. And
I mean, the Dallas crew, when they say they're here to wreck stuff, you should get nervous, because if those crosshairs fall on you, they are going to bring a hit to you.
Oh yeah,
it's going to come. Talking with some of the guys with the AMCs and the damage that they came across, they were surprised what the W bodies had brought. You know, the Dallas guys are running the front wheel drive cars, which is far more common in their home area versus out here. And then some of the guys with the Jamie St. Mary's group,
right?
We're talking about the W bodies that they build at home and the shop placement, and people were smart, and these builds have left a weak spot on the AMCs, the rear wheel drives. If you can catch those taillights at that angle, you can shift and skew everything, and when that happens, things start to go bad fast. We saw it a couple times. I think right now the field is pretty even, and the suggestion right now is that this could be a front wheel drive's year.
It could be. The numbers are somewhat in their favor because of the evenness. Statistically they have a better chance this year than they've had in the past. A lot of comments on social media about the rear wheel drives in general. About
what, that we don't know what we're talking about?
No.
That I don't know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh.
Just in general, how many cars are here?
Then show me the social media.
No, it's good stuff. People are excited about Bash for Cash, man. You know, even when they can't be here, they like to watch online, whether it's through Facebook thanks to Jeffy's Fab Farm, or whether it's on DerbyNation.tv, getting tuned in. I saw some pictures today of a guy out doing some fishing, and the caption said, "You can't catch fish when you're on your phone," and the comments were, "I'm watching Bash for Cash on Derby Nation TV."
That's awesome.
I love that stuff.
Just running through some more names that are jumping off that are surprisingly in the Consi, notwithstanding the work they had to do. Tony Kelly.
Yeah.
Chris Stepro.
Didn't expect that at all.
I lost my train of thought. There was another one. Oh, David Tillery Jr.
Yeah.
In the 702, who was in the camp that basically was ready to run the table from 1 through 7th until Chris Steeper really messed those plans up last year and ran it down into a podium finish. Daniel Mullins, real big call out to him. I think he had the most work of anybody in terms of rear end repairs that we came across in the pits. He took a bad shot. Yeah, that was the number 50X. He took a bad shot on the right side, and the impact was so bad that it broke the brace and the housing in half.
Wow.
And they had to drive. It wasn't a monster drive. Thankfully, he was running in conjunction with Jake Harris, Jordan Cox, that group. They're all from Wellston, Ohio. They drove about a half hour home, got another rear end, and he brought it back and basically solo dropped a new rear end in it, got all the metal pushed back where he needed it to keep the back end straight, and got it oriented so that he can get back out there for the Consi. But that chunk of what used to be the rear end housing was sitting on the ground, and you could see the axle tube just next to the brace and part of the brace had been split right off. It was broke clean off.
I saw him driving towards the inspection, and the passenger rear wheel was already bent.
Perfect.
I guess it's what he has or whatever, right. But he's kind of hobbling down towards inspection, and somebody actually tried to stop him to say, "Hey, something's wrong with your wheel," and he was like, "Yeah, I'm aware."
First things first. Let's get a stick. Making repairs. Dustin Ruark from Smithfield, Virginia, in that brown number 69, that Mustang. They had a bunch of work to do in the back. He had things go wrong that were completely beyond assumption.
Yeah.
They were assuming that he broke an axle. No big deal, right? Well, what had happened in his car is, in addition to bending, now stay with me on this one, he bent the flange on the drive shaft.
How do you do that without breaking it? Or dropping it?
How? And when I asked them that exact question, it was just, perfect.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for your insight.
So, well played. So not only was that bent, they blew a bearing apart somewheres in the rear end. They had taken the axle out of the tube, and in multiple spots had been tack welding and welding things back together too, and it was still sitting in the axle tube, which is a whole different conversation for all your welders at home.
Yeah.
But when that bearing came apart, who knows what bit went back through all the gears on the backside?
Yeah. We'll see what happens there.
Nonetheless, he's there.
He's got some real dedication putting it back together. When I drove by his pit earlier, he had the drive shaft out. They had the flange cut off, and they were trying to do some surgery.
Did they still have the jack on the trunk lid at that point?
I can't recall.
So they took a 3-ton floor jack, put it on top of several blocks of wood, ran a logging chain around the jack, and then used the jack to work as the spreader action as the jack pushed itself down and stretched itself up, was pulling the metal up in the back and pushing the trunk lid down so that it accentuated the 90-degree bend behind the arches to the back bumper.
Yeah.
That thing was sitting up there, and I'm just looking at this, and there's guys on each side. There's welders going on both sides. There's torch tanks that are drug out. There's generators all over the place. This haphazard configuration with the jack sitting on the trunk lid, and I'm looking at this like, you guys want this.
Yeah.
Nobody wants it more. And Ruark and the Mullins kid were pitted right next to each other. It's like right now there is more work being done in these two pit stalls than any place else right now in the pits.
Quite possibly.
It was
quite
nuts.
possibly. And I talk about sometimes my desire to run some of these bigger shows because I personally I feel like my driving ability is there, but I know for a fact that I don't have the desire to do what it takes in the pit area to have to put stuff back together.
And these are just trying to get into the feature.
Right.
There's no guarantee beyond this.
I don't have it. I want to get in the car and drive it, and when the flag waves, I want to get out and walk away.
I talked to Reg Bono.
He's looking forward to building a car.
Jerry Ott. There's a couple other guys that don't have cars here this weekend.
Right.
They're talking about coming back. Josh Wilkins.
Yeah.
Another guy.
Yeah.
Compact dedicated types. Jerry Ott, a lot of W bodies. Reg Bono, big compact guy. He's done all sorts of motorsports. Josh Wilkins was a W body guy forever. They've moved out of the compact ranks, and they're going over to the ultra stock 80 stuff.
Yeah.
Most all those classes are one and done. They're soft landings. Those Camrys, once they pack in, you're still putting all of the jolts and pressure into the squishy parts under the seatbelt.
Right.
So they're tired of getting banged up and beat around and all the fixing in the pits. And Reg said, it's nice that, his wife comes. She hangs out in the pits. She does some knitting. She reads a book. She texts him when she wants to go for a ride. He goes and does the Mayor Reg thing all over the pits for a little while.
Right.
And it's a vacation. There's no stress. These guys that are getting ready, putting these compacts back together to come out for the Consi, they have, I think it's fair to say, they have stress.
Yeah.
You know, they're after it. They're going for it. And some of these guys that were in compacts that are talking about building and coming back, they're looking at the 80s wire type classes just because this requires a new degree of dedication.
Yeah, you know, just looking through this list again, seeing like kind of who sticks out to me, and we've talked about some big names out there, but you know, I see Jessica Legis out there, the 22J. Yeah. She drove it down to the end, and then it just sort of petered out on her.
Heat.
Yeah.
Heat.
Yeah. And she still had tons of car left. The front looked good.
If you lose a radiator early in this Consi, you can see that shirt blowing in the breeze. That is a 90-degree breeze.
Yeah.
There is heat will be a factor in this afternoon with a little bit of water that's out there. So if that starts to cake up and restrict airflow through the motors, some of these small W body motors, if they just didn't do anything to them, they're going to be susceptible. Those aluminum parts are going to get hot and get angry. You've got the Delices. We were talking about them and how much work they put in.
Right.
Let alone the fact that they went through their first oxygen tank just getting qualified for the heat.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they were relying on people around them to help get stuff done.
Marty Shields is in. Kevin Wood is in. Both of the Pegs are in as well.
Marty's car was in rough shape when he got here. I mean, it was very well used up. Something happened to him pretty early on, and he climbed out of the car, left it in neutral on the track. And we saw it travel around the track a few times.
It logged 2 miles.
Yeah. So
Alex Jennings with that black and yellow Mustang going to be out there. Remember him at the end of last night. He was down right about where that gentleman in the green shirt is standing at the entrance to the track, and he finally got it started at the 63-second mark, which is about 3 seconds too late.
Too late.
He was out of time, and he beat the snot out of his steering wheel and his switch box. So hopefully he didn't have to repair those in addition to all the other repairs he had to make on the car. But
I'll tell you what, man, 27 cars in this compact Constellation. Going live, we're live on Facebook as well as on DerbyNation.tv. Free to everybody. Thanks to Jeffy's Fab Farm, giving you a taste of the action that is going to go down here at day number 2 at Bash for Cash. We are DerbyTees.tv, powered by DEC Headers, presented by Collier Performance Engines, and we are about to have a green flag here. They're calling for the cars to fire up, make their way out of the line, and come out here to the track. We're going to see what goes down as these Constellation drivers try their last chance to get qualified for the main event.
I didn't see how many kicker heats that we were going to have tonight. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood 3 or 4 of those. And once we get past those, that program's starting again at 4:45. Pro Stocks, Relics, in the 70 class, which I bet you combined, those three don't take 45 minutes on the track.
No. 15
minutes each, probably.
Something like that. It'll take longer to clear the track than it will for them to run it.
Yes, that's 100% true.
All right.
Some cool relic cars that we're going to see a little bit later on. So make sure you tune in, DerbyNation.tv.
There's one of the Delices.
That is the 18R Patrick Dellis from Casterland, New York. Ever been to Casterland?
Have not.
Doesn't even have a dot on the map.
That would be why I haven't been there.
Little tiny town. That is the 314 Chad Pegg from Indiana. And that's the 37
Derek
Dellis.
Yeah.
Adriana Pensek.
There's a look at that 2x2 we were talking about, how they changed up the bumper situation.
And also, if you look how close to the front of that the cradle is, so they're relying on that to do a little bit of work as well to stop that once it turns at 90. Because again, the front end of that car is designed a lot more like a Mustang than it is like a Crown Vic.
And the stark lack of a cooling system.
Doesn't need it. Not going to have to run that long. So the RR2, that is R.J. Schultz from Washington Courthouse, Ohio. The number 22 is Alex Keaton from McConnellsburg, PA. Ryan Hann from Houstontown, Pennsylvania.
He had a good run yesterday. It was interesting to see that he didn't make it through. 7:01 maybe? It's hard to
Steven
see.
Taco.
There you go.
That's Nate Biddendorf right there. That's the Mulder entry. Trevor Mulder from Iowa, and the number 4T. Team Compact Cadillacs represented with the black and gold. And 21, that's the Pool car.
Colton Pool.
816. It's Kevin Wood. Kevin Wood from Delaware driver. Clavemont, Delaware. Number 20R, that's the Rockwell car. That's one of the Supras that we saw last night.
Shane Rockwell.
And Chris Stepro.
Denny's Carbon Machine.
Tony Kelly. And next in line, I believe that is David Tillery Jr. in the 702. Another one of the AMCs. Here comes our Mustang. Should be Alex Jennings right there in the black and yellow. We'll see if that's the 391 when it pulls up.
It is?
I'll know that yellow hood anywhere.
Yeah, I get you. A2S 22E.
It's Irvin. Tyler Irvin from Illinois. 119. Clearly the 119. That is
Let's
Marty
Party Marty.
Shields.
Let's party Marty.
This is Jordan Rutherford in the Burgundy. My mistake. It is not. That is the 69
Ruark.
Yep. Dustin Ruark from Smithfield, Virginia. And that, instead, is going to be Jordan Rutherford in the number 76. I'm not seeing any additional wire on these. I didn't even think to ask that. If they could do any wiring work on the backs of those. Daniel Mullins in the number 50X.
The Pool car had several strands of extra wire holding things up. A lot of these guys just felt they didn't need it.
Sideways roof sign. Oh, that might have been Kyle Katusin. This should be 22J. Jessica Legis, Wisconsin.
Gray area demo parts, compact Constellation on the track.
What's the pace going to be? I'm guessing it's slow and methodical.
I don't think so. I mean, it is their last chance to make it out for this main event, so you'll see some of these drivers going out there to qualify, but a few of these guys are just coming out here to finish off what they have left.
Right. They know they don't have enough car to get to the feature, and if they do get to the feature, they don't have anything to put back together for it.
Right.
So at that point, you're just rolling the dice that you're gonna be able to survive. So I think that it's going to be a little bit more intense. I did not see Sean Bruce come back out, or excuse me, Zach Bruce.
Yeah, I did not.
Too bad.
Dallas comes off the line hard.
Flat front tire already. There is air everywhere except for Patrick Dallas' right front tire. Steepro's got a nice shelf built on the back of that Pacer. See how that thing is laid out, shelved out just above the back bumper? That's a steering heater right there.
315 right here in the center,
Donnie
having
Pegg.
some trouble sitting idle.
119 in trouble over there. On the opposite side, Marty Shields in trouble as well. Our rate of attrition has been surprisingly high already.
Hard shot there to the Rockwell machine.
Adriana Pensick backing away from Jordan Rutherford. She got him. Perfect shot placement to really open up that right rear corner. Here comes, that was Derek Dellis in the 37B. Huge shot. Good placement as well. I got that left rear corner of Rockwell. Man, that looks perfect. I wonder how much of that was working the pits, just laying that sheet metal flat.
Yeah.
That thing comes down, and that's sort of the same idea what you want a round back to do. Once the roof starts to pucker on that, you get in there and just start tearing apart steering. And with the front wheel drive compacts, you could end somebody's night with one good shot.
Absolutely.
You know, basically daring somebody to go after that. One of our 322s here doing business front and center. That's a Tyler Irvin car. Back to back on the 119 again. Marty Shields struggling in that yellow and gray machine with the blue numbers on the roof side.
Good shot there. Working on Dallas in the 18
So Dallas, I was talking to him in the pits. You notice his nose is much, much lower than most of the other W bodies.
Yeah.
He's a solid 4 inches lower than everybody else, and he did it by design. He showed me in the front of his car where all of the sheet metal had been pushed back over the fenders and never touched the wheel. He actually did that on purpose because as that metal comes in, it's going to catch the cradle and it's going to save stress on the CV. Keeps those CVs nice and level. Smart. For as much of a wild man reputation as he has, it was nice to hear him thinking a little bit of logic and strategy and not just fitting that mold of wild man, hit whatever I can and I'm not going to get anywhere.
Right.
Good forethought.
Once again, the 315 sitting idle.
Johnny Pegg in that 315.
So frustrating to have a car like that and have it not run right, you know, especially 2 times in a row.
Rourke's still moving down here in that brown 69. That's Alex Keaton in the 22, just kind of knifing through. Standard issue 22 versus the 22E or 22J.
Yeah.
You see out there as well. Not one of the leather cars. Great shot. Perfect placement. You can see how much it shifted pushing that pillar and quarter panel over on Tony Kelly's car after Dallas caught him on that left rear tail light.
Chambliss welding red flag on the track to trying to get everybody held up. Rockwell makes a late hit there.
That shot as the red flag and an official was there waving reminded me of a conversation I had with my son after we tell him time and time again to do something. He does it anyway, and he looks at you and said, He was gonna stop right after he finished that hit, right?
I was gonna. Somebody climbing out.
Did we just get a Mad Dog award?
I think so.
Oh, man.
Dallas.
Unofficial word right now? Let's see what this official does on there. Gosh, what a feather in the cap for him if he can come with it. He said in that preview that I don't think they even give Mad Dogs for compacts.
For Conci, yeah.
Can you imagine if he did enough to convince him to do it anyway?
Right.
We just zoomed in for a second. You can see the bumper getting knocked off after some contact from Stepro in that gray and black 348. Can't get a good read on the car that he hit, though.
Back to green. During that red flag, the 315 somehow got it refired. Made his way down the track to the left side of the screen and made contact.
He probably promised to be good to it if it refired one more time.
Hey.
I think that the silver car in the middle there with 3 numbers is Steven Taco, the 701 that had the bumper knocked off. Still going.
Backing towards the right-hand side, looking for someone to hit. 315.
Videography, see something. Oh, the bumper is bumping the rest of the way off.
Pretty fired up about it. Somebody needs to get in an official shirt.
There we go. All right, so here on the edge of the screen, we see the 315. Donnie Pegg is wedged in there with Taco in that 701. So the gentleman that we're about to corral his bumper, exiting the car, can't get a good read on that number. 816 is Kevin Wood. Kevin Wood's bumper got taken off the front there.
Yeah.
Jordan Rutherford still in there. Back end starting to square off for him. Look at how far back the back of David Tiller Jr. 702 has come. And it's not moving even. The left side is coming much faster than the right.
Which is unusual. Usually you see the passenger side go first. You know, drivers look over their shoulder. They use that passenger corner more. We're back to green.
I remember you telling me that years ago. We were mounting cameras facing backwards to the compact.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you put it on that corner. That does not sound like a healthy motor. Nate Middendorf still out there running, moving to the 11C. Seeing a lot of the pacer wagons, like Nate Middendorf got right here in the middle, doing that soft flip, and the bumper just rolls. There's another one there for Rutherford, the 76, just rolling just a little bit past the bracket, and it's stopping, and the sheet metal's laying out versus the coupe version, I guess you could say. There's a well-timed move by Tony Kelly. You can see the sheet metal going away much, much faster over that rear axle, and the roofs on some of them are even perking up and putting pressure on that halo bar.
Shane Rockwell, left-hand corner of the screen, that orange Supra. He's doing some work with the front end of the car. The front bumper just about broke free on that thing. Loose on one side.
Just a quick count of what we see moving around. There was 5 rear-wheel drive cars, 6 now, still out there in the fray. Seven when you had Rockwell. Jennings having some problems developing on the left side. Left is mud caked into the rim. Looks like that wheel might be a little bit bent. It's been a little wonky.
391. Yeah, that wheel's been locked up for a little while now. He's the one we've heard with the higher RPMs, really working hard. He's right by the track mic there.
Kyle Katusin still in the mix. You can see just a flash of that LLC 1.5 roof sign. The black car with a pink trim on the roof sign. There he is again. Good shot placement right there. Rutherford. Little fault on the throttle, trying to protect what he's got. There's Alex Eaton, 22, nose to Rutherford, 76. Jennings in the middle of all that as well. Chris Stepro and the black and silver 348.
Another red flag on the track. NLR Derby Parts red flag. Get them all held up.
Is this a debris red flag or a discussion red flag?
I didn't see the debris.
Jennings saw flashing fires and tried to get down and right fired. Tillery momentarily stuck on the number 13 at hand. Got himself down.
22 helped with that.
Alex Keaton at 22. All type of room to maneuver. Tony Keller, Tyler Caprice from the bottom of the screen. All knows all day from Alex Keaton. Just feeding the front bumper wherever he gets the opportunity to.
Mulder in the 4T left-hand corner there. Still maneuvering around. Car looks about the same.
Stealthy. He just kind of hangs out there. All of a sudden, we're going to be in the final 5, and there he's going to be.
He had trouble with his batteries during his heat. The batteries went flat on him. They thought he might have one battery that had a bad cell, and so they were trying to get him charged up this morning. And then they were doing some testing, and I wasn't able to follow up to see if they ended up having one go bad, but they were talking about changing them out.
So Nate Biddendorf, just cut away from him. We got to get a look at that number 11 steam. He's pushing steam out the overflow. Steam at the far end of the track with that yellow nose.
Yeah.
Pushing a little bit of steam out there. That is going to be a factor. He knows that he needs to get too many runs on it. It's time for it to get fresh.
Yeah.
Not to the point where he's concerned that he's going to make it to the end of it or whatever, but this motor generates and pulls steam much faster than he'd like to on a stage like Bash for Cash. So the steam coming out now is a telltale sign that he's starting to run out of time. He needs this thing to wrap up a little bit more quickly for him to get that golden ticket into the contact feature. He knows that it's an issue and knows that he had to have things wrap up quick in order to improve his chances. So we got to keep an eye on that. If that thing starts getting hot and laboring, that was one of the things that played into his demise in the qualifying round.
Ticking clock right now. Stopwatch was started internally for him.
Gerard got to fire again. Well, it's like a banshee, I suppose. Just a bullet train to 10 feet ahead.
Gray Area Demo Parts bringing you this compact consolation. You can check out their website at grayareademoparts.com. Ralph and the rest of the crew over there will take great care of you with all of your compact tools. Ruark using the nose there.
Look at the back of Tillery's car. Right behind the left rear wheel, the leaves have broken.
Yeah.
So when I was talking to Nate in the pit, a bunch of the AMC guys from their qualifying heat, regardless of whether it was the wagon style or otherwise, were breaking main leaves in the back. Got another one right there.
It looks like Tony Kelly's driver's side leaf pack, the shackle is separated. Looks like it's just sticking out.
Yeah, sure enough. But I mean, both of those guys, if you look at the way the sheet metal is packed down around the rear end, it might be all right. It might not let that thing chuck around so much and let those trailing arms do the job, hang on to that rear end. Biddendorf, does he have a broken leaf pack as well on the left side?
Ruark getting warned for the driver's door there.
Rutherford doesn't. They're good.
Killer Custom Derby Parts red flag on the track.
Chad Pegg exiting with 315. First I thought Mulder climbed out of the 4T, but I see him moving around over there.
.22E out of that machine.
Tyler Irvin.
I want to say thanks to Killer Custom Dirt Parts and Transmissions. They're a new sponsor for us. We want to make sure they're recognized. They're taking a good look here at the A2S machine. Possibly a fuel issue. Usually when there's an issue with fuel, or they come out with the loaders and move the car off the track, so we'll see what happens here. Of course, the rest of these guys are sitting impatiently, they're letting their stuff get hot. They're saying,
what goes through your mind at this point? You know it's 1,000 degrees out there. You've been out there for quite some time. You know, somebody like Nate Middendorf, he knows he's on borrowed time anyway because he's already started to build heat. What do you do? Do you try and work the throttle and cycle the water through faster?
Do you shut it off and let it heat sink and hope it doesn't get any hotter? It's scary. It's a frustrating time.
Drive cars don't.
It's a frustrating time.
If you shut that motor off, that heat's going to sit in there, and everything's going to expand, and when you try and turn that thing over, it's just going to make all sorts of ugly noises. That metal scrapes against each other, and it's not going to want to fire.
Right.
Tyler Irvin up there on the wall. You can see wearing the A2S shirt, holding the helmet.
Overlooking the damage here.
His Chariot of Destruction does not fit through that hole yet.
Pick it up.
I love that at Blizzard Bash when the forklifts come and try to pick up the team cars, and
it
just picks the back wheels off the ground.
Right.
See that steam continuing to pour out from behind the front bumper of that 11C of Nate Middendorf. He's backed up into Steve Taco in that 701. Taco has been out for a while. And that silver and green entry. That's Kyle Katusin sitting in the center of the track with a blue hood and the pink trim on his roof sign, the LLT 1.5.
Middendorf seemed to be having a little bit of communication with Katusin there, but hard to tell. There saw a couple of little hand signals and gesturing.
Nate's wisely telling him that the nose of his car is no good, not to use it anymore.
Yeah, stop using the nose.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
So funny when either people on the sidelines or other competitors, whatever, try to like let you know. And it's funny, you know, my dad and I always had this sort of like unspoken language. He'd make the weirdest like gestures or whatever, and I would know, like, oh, he wants me to do this or do that, you know.
Your dad used to throw lollipops into the cars for other people, though.
I did that before.
Did you? I didn't realize you did it too. Water balloons too, right?
Dad did water balloons. Yeah. No, I was at Dent in 2001 at the Speedrome in Indianapolis.
Okay.
And I had lollipops in my car for the pit party to give to the kids when they were coming by, and I forgot them in the car. So when the Derby started, they were still in the car with me.
Well, what else would you do with lollipops in the Demolition Derby?
Well, you know, I had nothing else to do. My car had a blown up rear end, so.
There's Mulder.
Katusin taking a look.
Katusin here going the other direction with running the big tires in the front, trying to give you a little bit of a target so that you get the bumper on the rim versus getting down below the bumper impacts.
Mm-hmm.
Where worlds collide. I love that trademark. In which case I didn't say it. So Katusin there, LLT 1.5 spinning around us. He's locking horns now with the 702 of Tillery. Wow, that was a good shot, and it popped the left side. Oh, it hung together.
Look at that leaf spring.
Yep. Looks like everything's sinking down a little bit too over that left corner.
Tony Kelly working on Rockwell. Two orange machines up in that corner. Rockwell doesn't have any kind of build time in that car. He had it built for him, and there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes you just get like a kind of a bond with your vehicle when you spend that much time with it. You have a better understanding of what it's going to do, how, you know, what it's sounding like, what it's running like. That could be affecting him. A lot of steam out of Ruark's machine here.
Yeah, there's not a lot of car left around Ruark's steering wheel right now. He's in some deep waters. In the steam, it's laboring hard, and it's dragging a lot. Now, as those arches continue to flap, the back end, it looks like it's starting to sink in front of the, basically at the back seat.
Mulder's machine looking really good.
Right side looks great on Nate's car. It's a good look at Middendorf right there with the steam pouring out. Left side, not so much.
Tony Kelly's been working that corner. He's got the Joker machine of Rockwell up against the wall, working that rear axle. Rockwell snuck away that time. Steepro's in that corner also. And Ruark with a good shot using the nose.
Alex Keaton's down in that mix as well with the front wheel drive corner too. Here comes Katusin. Keaton looks like he's idle right now in the 22. Hillary continue to lay the bumper on that left front corner.
Ruark is stalled, trying to crank it over as he gets worked over by Steepro.
Keaton likewise. See periodically some smoke come out of the stacks, but not a whole lot happening for him. Hillary confident that the 22 is all done. Rockwell also in trouble along the wall. Still in the clutches of Tony Kelly's number 3. Steepro has left that battle. Tony Kelly at this point is taking the opportunity to log time. The number 20 is still an active participant, so he's resetting his shot clock every time he makes active contact on the number 20. And stick down now for Rockwell and that copper tone number 20. And Kelly flanking the number 348 of Steepro as they eye the back of the 702 of Tillery. There's Middendorf in the mix. And you can see now where that leaf spring has peeled off on that left rear corner. With the third or fourth car now that we've seen have left side leaf spring issues.
Yeah, that side's packing in quite a bit.
All vying for the right to fix the cars again and come back out at a chance for $10,000 in the Compact Championship scheduled for Sunday evening. Bash for Cash Day 3, all that coming up tomorrow. Championship Sunday on deck. Once again, everybody, if you're enjoying what you see on DerbyNation.tv's live look-in on Facebook, about 4:45, we'll be back with a gamut of action this evening. Kicker class heats, the Pro Stock Relic cars, the 70 wire class, also going to main event tonight's program. Again, all that going to be kicking off somewhere around 5 o'clock. 4:45 will be your pre-race show presented by Crashbox right here on DerbyNation.tv. Powered by DEC Headers, produced by DerbyTees.tv. Mulder going in on the backside of the 76. And again, just a stealthy run for him right now. He's been making hits, been going for wheels, tires, axles on the rear-wheel drive stuff, putting good shot placement out there. He's just not doing anything, no haymakers from him.
Right.
Nothing catastrophic is going to be a cause for him to damage the car past the point where he's going to qualify.
Just making some jabs. Tony Kelly.
Right now coming apart on the left side for Nate Middendorf. Kelly shoves him right out of your frame. Tillery got the hold of the back end of the rough lifter car.
They're hooked.
Yeah, sure are.
like they could come apart. Tillery isn't really allowing it. Playing a little game with him, trying to frustrate him. Stepro taking a little assessment of the situation, backing away. Might come back and give him some help. Get some broken apart there. Now the question is, who was he helping?
The AMC.
Stepro's backed off the left side of the screen.
Bad spot for Mulder. Real bad spot.
Don't want to be the meat in that AMC sandwich right now. Oh,
Tony Kelly joined the party.
Hello.
Just lost the tire on the right front now.
You see all the black smoke? He's like just about to start, and they come in here and wallop him again.
But look at the damage that's doing to Tillery's front bumper. I mean, that series of shots on the front of Mulder's ride has really moved the nose on that 702.
Yeah.
Mulder's almost there.
It did fire. Doesn't seem to have a lot of power to it. Tony Kelly.
That was a good shot right there. That might be all it's going to take. He's getting that point right square in the center of that wheel.
Tillery stalled now. Well, fired it up in gear. He's hanging out the door. Something is going wrong in that car. You see, he was working over to the side there. This could be it. Number 3 of Tony Kelly. 702. Tillery.
76 Jordan Rutherford should get a spot.
And the Stepro machine, the 11 of Mittendorf. An all AMC Consi.
Yeah, things evened out there.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was numbers or if it was a temperature issue. You know, you see some of those front wheel drives were more quick to push steam than the rear wheels were. And also our Mad Dog qualifier, I almost forgot. Dallas, there's Jody's trackside.
Mini car consolation qualifier, on-track interviews by Jeffy's Fab Farm. So was that a pretty long consolation, you think?
That was the longest I've been in.
What's your name?
David Tillery.
Where are you from?
Hamilton, Ohio.
What kind of car are you running here?
Pacer wagon.
So it's got some damage to the back end. Do you think you'll be able to get it back and run it tomorrow?
Should be able to.
Have you ran here at the Bash before?
I ran here last time. I only lasted 30 seconds.
Really? So you're a little farther than that this time?
Yeah, a lot further.
Well, good luck tomorrow and congratulations.
Thank you.
That's it for the Jeffy's Fab Farm track interviews, so we'll take it back to the studio.
Thanks, Jody. Appreciate that. Tillery giving her succinct answers there. Ran 30 seconds last year.
Just like his dad.
Did a little better this year.
The effervescent and eloquent Tillery family.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Love those guys. Yeah, I mean, he had an awful year last year. He really did. He had no luck whatsoever in the 702. The rest of the crew, just about everybody, ran it down in the feature. but he had no good luck befell him. So good rebound year for David Jr.
So to recap our consolation, Patrick Dellis gets pulled as the Mad Dog from that heat. And then they pulled
Tony Kelly. This is unofficial, of course. I believe this is who we've got for our qualifiers. Tony Kelly, then orange number 3, David Tillery Jr., who we just spoke to on track. Jordan Rutherford in the number 76. That was the Burgundy car. Chris Depro in the number 348, and Nate Middendorf punching his ticket in the number 11C. All AMCs, all day, all the time, coming out of the consolation round and making their way into the A main, with the exception being the Mad Dog.
Yeah.
His front wheel drive.
Yeah. And he's got his work cut out for him in the feature. And he's not looking forward to winning. He's looking forward to junking some more cars out there.
Continue to try to make a name for himself. So Tillery's got some work to do on that. He's a qualifier. But I think of the cars qualifying, his car might need the most work coming out of this. He's going to get the opportunity to put some plates on the nose of that, so they'll probably pull that down and get that leveled back out for him. But that's the furthest we've seen one of the noses on the Pacers move this weekend. Yeah,
well, he's used it quite a bit. So I want to say thanks to everybody that's joined us on Facebook. Thanks to everybody that got the free ticket there on DerbyNation.tv to keep an eye on the compact consolation. We will be back at 4:45 Eastern Time, getting ready for the evening session here.
Projected at 4:45. It's only 3:45 right now. The Power Wheels are going to go off at 4:30 unless they start moving the schedule ahead, because we do have so much to get through tonight.
Yeah.
But projections right now, 4:45.
So we're looking forward to Kicker Class, Pro Stock Class, Relics, and Frank the Tank here this evening. Tons of carnage on the agenda coming up this evening.
Pro Stocks are where it's going to be.
Oh man,
they're gonna waffle those things.
I can't wait for the Relic Class myself. I'm excited for it. But that's going to do it for us for our 3 o'clock session. Thanks for being here for the compact consolation. Make sure you're joining us this evening for the evening session here at Bash for Cash day number 2. We'll catch you in this evening. We'll see you at 4:45. Thanks for being with us.
Derby Tees TV is powered by DEC Headers, the nation's premier source for demolition derby headers. When you want the best, buy the best, DEC has you covered. For great service, fast shipping, and even custom orders, visit their website at DECHeaders.com. Collier Performance Engines is a proud sponsor of Derby Tees TV. For proven power, performance, and unmatched reliability, Collier Performance is hard to beat. Are you ready to spend more time in the winner's circle? Visit Collier Performance on Facebook today. This Derby Tees TV broadcast is brought to you by Alexander Concession and Catering, Gray Area Demo Parts, Skinny Salvage Derby Cars and Parts, DerbyTees.com, the original Derby t-shirt, Crashbox monthly subscriptions, Cheaters Video, and Klein Design Incorporated. You've been watching a Derby Tees TV production powered by DEC Headers and presented by Collier Performance Engines live on DerbyNation.tv. Follow us on Facebook and watch the website for our updated schedule and added content. Thanks for watching.